Excuse Mr. Radio Exec, but I firmly object. You said the average listener didn't want to hear what the on-air personality had to say. But on the contrary, they all seem to feel my way. You said the average listener only wanted the music. Well, if they only wanted the music, they would go out and buy the music. Your way of thinking is useless, so you just sit back and watch me do me. Anything else? Kicks mean. Yes, sir! Yo, what up, hookers and gigolos? Your boy Kicks Mean back at you again with another episode of Radio Don't Want Me podcast. What are we on, episode 2? Yep, consistency, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's all about. Hope everybody's having a great week out there, aside from the fact of the Hurricane Harvey hitting Houston. Our prayers go out to everybody in Houston affected by this. It's a beautiful thing to see how many people are contributing to help the relief. You know, donating, giving time, money, goods, and everything to help out everybody in Houston. That's a very beautiful thing, because we all know that our government, FEMA program, whatever it is supposed to be, does not do these kind of things. I need my money from my checks. Anyways, I want to start off today's podcast by talking about one of my favorite subjects. Yes, we will get to the hip-hop shit, but let me start off with one of my favorite subjects. I'm a major sneakerhead. If you don't know now, you know. If you do know me, you should know that. Major sneakerhead. And recently, the Jordan 32 images of the Jordan 32 were released. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the design is mad weak. I mean, this shouldn't come as a surprise to us, because we all know that the more recent Jordan releases, the Jordan signature line at least, releases have been lackluster as far as visual wise. I'm pretty sure they're great performance wise to play ball on the court. Amazing sneakers, but for us that don't play ball and we just trying to rock them just to break necks, it's not doing it. I do find it interesting though how the newer Jordans are coming out. They seem to be inspired by the older models. Like the 31s were inspired from the ones, the 32s seem to be inspired by the 2s. So of course we're expecting the 33s, which are considering the 3s were a game changer for Nike and Jordan. They're the shoe that made Jordan not leave Nike. I'm expecting the 33s to be at least a little more impressive. But besides that, the 32s are expected to release, I believe, sometime this month or sometime this year, but I'm believing this month. I hope. But again, the design not that great, but I'm pretty sure it's a great basketball shoe. So everybody who's out there hooping, check those out. More sneaker news. The Off-White Nike collaboration, the sneakers that I'm not gonna lie to you. At one point in time in the sneaker game, because I'm heavy in this game, I thought the hype beasting would be over. Seems it's not. The Off-White, I'm not gonna tell you every shoe on there. I will tell you the Air Max 90s are on there, the Vapor Maxes are on there, the Air Jordan 1s are on there. By the way, the Air Jordan 1 seems to be the better looking and most popular shoe on this whole collab. But for the most part, all the sneakers look butt. They look ass cheek. They're just. I get artistically, it seems cool to get a shoe that seems somewhat dissected or not somewhat completed. But I'm pretty sure if the Off-White tag wasn't on there, most people wouldn't want this shoe. That's just me. That's how I feel. I think the shoes aren't very attractive. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a hefty price on them. I wouldn't pay that hefty price for them, but hey, again, we're in the generations of the hype beast, so the hype beast will line up. They will buy these things. They will be happy to show everybody and act like they got something cool. But at the end of the day, I'm not rocking with it, fam. Sorry. Something I am looking forward to, as far as sneakers go, the Kyrie 3 Mamba mentality. These things are super fire, dope, super hot fire. You know what makes these shoes so dope to me? I am not a fan of the Kyrie 3s. Not gonna lie to you, I do not own a pair. I don't think it's that dope, but in this colorway, it just makes these sneakers pop. If you're not familiar with the Kyrie 3 Mamba mentalities, they are a sneaker inspired by Kobe Bryant and Bruce Lee. Kobe Bryant's infatuation with Bruce Lee and his history led Nike to design certain shoes in the classic Bruce Lee colorway, that yellow and black with the red stripes or red claw marks from one of his movies. I can't remember what movie that was, but Bruce Lee is dope. Kobe is dope. They did a sneaker in that yellow, black, and red pattern color scheme. Super hot fire. I have a pair of I believe I have the 10s, the Kobe 10s in that colorway. I really wanted the 5s. The 5s are what inspired Kyrie Irving to do the whole thing, but the Kyrie 3s in that colorway are super hot fire. I am highly anticipating this shoe. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm ready to buy that thing now, ASAP. Know who else has got a shoe coming out? Or maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know, because, the first shoe didn't come out. Melo Ball and the Big Baller brand have recently given us images of the MB1 Melo Ball, LaMelo Ball, that is, LaMelo Ball, the youngest son, the 16-year-old in high school, has his own signature shoe on the Big Baller brand for a hefty price of $395. Now, I got no problem with that. I get it, black entrepreneurship. Jay-Z said, hey, I'm supporting the move. Hey, why not? I'm not going to buy no $495 shoes, no $395 shoes. Not going to do that. Not for a brand that's not unproven. Not for a player that's unproven. Now, I'm sorry. You just don't have that worth to me. But he does have his own shoe. Like his older brother with the ZO2s, the design seems to derive from another shoe. I believe it's a black brand. I don't know the name of the sneaker brand. But his shoe is heavily similar to a shoe that they have on design. You can Google that and find that somewhere. I don't know, whatever. But point is, overall, the shoe ain't that cute anyway, so I'm not messing with it. But I thought I'd just share that with y'all, because Melo Ball, the 16-year-old, has his own sneaker. While we're in the Ball family, let's address his older brother, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball, on their new, what is it, a reality show that they're streaming on Facebook. Lonzo Ball went as far as to say in an interview in this reality show that ain't nobody listening to Nas. Real hip hop is Future and Migos. Wow. So Nas isn't real hip hop? Listen, when I first heard this and I saw this, I thought, what the fuck is wrong with this kid? But then I realized to myself, Lonzo Ball ain't cut from that cloth. We're talking about a young kid who's basically lived this privileged life, probably doesn't have a scratch on him, never been in a scuffle, never had to struggle, never had to suffer through anything. So he doesn't understand what Nas means to hip hop and a lot of people out there. He doesn't understand how Nas's words may have affected, changed, or even saved lives. Because, it's just music. So when he goes off and says real hip hop is Future and Migos, and I'm not gonna say he discredit Nas, but he very disrespectfully disregard Nas's effect in hip hop. It's just wrong. Now listen, I'm gonna keep 100 with y'all. I am not the biggest Nas fan in the world. Nas is not on my top 5, but I fully understand what this man contributes to the hip hop culture, what he means to a lot of people. I will never discredit Nas in his efforts and not his efforts, but what he's added to the culture. Never gonna do that. Regardless if I'm a fan or not, never gonna turn around and discredit him. But I have to remember that Lonzo Ball is not cut from that cloth. Lonzo Ball is a privileged kid who's had everything handed to him most of his life. The only thing Lonzo Ball has worked for is basketball. So I'm going to say stick to basketball, leave the rapping or the hip hop culture to people who really understand, know, and care about it. Though, if you're listening to his younger brother's Slam Online commercial, if you listen to the background, you'll notice there's somebody rapping. That is Lonzo Ball. Now, for him to turn around and say Future and Migos are hip hop and Nas isn't, it's kind of funny to me considering the fact that when you listen to him rap on this commercial or this snippet, he don't sound nothing like a Migos or a Future. He's rapping more like a conventional rapper who has somewhat wordplay and whatnot, even though his rap wasn't all that intricate, but still. While we keeping it hip hop, let's talk more hip hop and let's talk about what y'all really want to hear about. Lil Uzi Vert, XXX Tentacion. They recently released their albums. I'm not gonna be the guy like everybody else who listens to the album once and quickly wants to give you a review on these albums, because that's kind of fucking stupid. Can you really engage an album or fully digest an album within a couple of days? I mean, I like to give it a full week before I turn around and give my full assessment of them. So with that said, let's start off with Lil Uzi Vert. His Love Is Rage 2. I'm not gonna lie to you, when I first picked this album up or downloaded this album, you know, not paying for that, I was expecting it to sound mad, whack, super. I mean, I'm not expecting Lil Uzi Vert to rap on this thing, basically. And he didn't disappoint me because he barely rapped. I don't even think there's a full, like, sentence. It's more, you know, that insert out where these guys say something and they stop and they come back and say something, and you know, the rolling like something like whoa, something like whoa, I do this. Like most of that is that, or he's singing on the rap on the whole album. I will say, surprisingly, sonically, that album does sound good. I think it's great ambiance music. If you ever chilling somewhere, you know, or you riding to the club with your homies, especially the ladies, if you riding to the club with your girls and you just want something in the background while you girls fuck around or guys fuck around and talk about whatever you're gonna talk about or do whatever you're doing, it's great ambiance music because it does sonically sound nice. The beats sound cool. His flows, it's awkward to say flows when he's not really rapping, but his flows and his yeah, I'm gonna just stick with flows on this album do sound nice. I will say this, I can see that Lil Uzi Vert falls off that Lil Wayne tree. A few songs I'm listening to and Uzi sounds like Wayne, and I'm waiting for a Wayne verse to pop off, and to my dismay I didn't get one, but what can you say, it's Uzi, not Wayne. I can't complain. Again, surprisingly, the album does sound good despite the fact that he's not really rapping, or maybe he's just not rapping to my taste. I don't know, it could be a personal opinion. A lot of people do seem to like it, but I think they're just Uzi stans, or not Uzi stans, because I don't really think you got stans, Uzi. I'm sorry. I think these people like you. Like I said before, I don't think they love you. So it is surprisingly worth giving a listen to if you just need something to rock out to, because that's what he is, a rock star. We'll get into that further. XXX Tentacion. Surprisingly, again, I like this album. I am highly surprised that X put out something that I like, I appreciate. You can tell that he has some dark issues, some you know, and that adds great content to his music. But the disappointing part, everything on this album is very short. All the songs are very short. I believe X only contributes one verse per song, if that is a verse, or if it's enough for a verse. If you listen to it, you'll know what I mean. He sings a lot on there, but I like to describe it as a beautiful pain. I mean, if you listen to it, it just, the music behind it is beautiful. The acoustic guitar is just, it's just amazing. The production value. Although on a lot of his raps, X does not sound too clear. I think he needs some practice on his enunciation alongside with his writing, because if you're writing all these songs yourself and they're that short, I mean, it's clear to me that he's pushing some sort of message, but I don't think within the limited verses that he puts in this album you fully get the message, because it's almost like I'm listening to this thing and before I can fully get engaged to the song and fully start to feel it and fully start to want to hear more, it's over and we're on to the next song. There are no standout records, I will say that, but collectively it's a good body of work for his first traditional studio album. It is a very good body of work. I want to hate on it. I want to say it sucks. I want to talk mad shit because I'm just, I want to be one of those guys that say our rappers should be rappers, and these hybrid rappers where they're doing this rap sing, more sing than rap is not cool. But with this, you gotta respect the kid's effort. So I'm not gonna knock it. But again, the hybrid rapper where these guys are doing more singing than rapping, or doing more of this rock and roll style rap, it's here's my fear for hip hop. I fear that one day hip hop will become what disco and what rock and roll have become. That is non-existent. At one point in time, disco was the leading source of music, and then that ended. At one point in time, rock and roll was just everywhere. Everything was rock and roll. That was music. That ended. Well, it didn't end abruptly. See, what happened was people started making different variations of rock and roll, and they didn't want to call it rock and roll, so they called it alternative. They started calling it punk. They started calling it all other things. Then eventually it all became pop music. So with that in mind, when we got these hybrid rappers who aren't really rapping, they're just saying a few words over a beat, we don't want to call it rap, we don't want to call it hip hop. But then eventually what happens when we start giving it alternate names, it all becomes pop music. This is why rapping on your songs are important, people. If you don't rap, it won't be considered rap. We forget the culture, it becomes pop music. That is my fear for hip hop. I don't know if anybody else feels the same way I do, but if you do, please champion our lyricists. Please give rappers who actually rap a chance. Not saying not to give guys like X or Uzi a chance, but understand that they are not our traditional type rappers. Eventually, if things go the way I see it, they will not even be considered rap artists. They will be considered more pop artists, but that is to be seen. I wanted to end this shit off by telling y'all like a personal story, or giving y'all some of my, fuck it, let's keep it 100. I wanted to talk about one of my favorite subjects, and that is these bitches. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, these bitches, they working my nerves. They make me feel all type of ways. I love them, I hate them, I don't want to be around them, but then, you gotta get that nut off. So, situation I have. If you ever meet me, or if you ever seen me, or you know me, I work out quite a bit. I go to the gym. I try to keep the body right. But I can be very antisocial at times. Sometimes I'm working out and people try to talk to me, and here's how you know I don't want to talk to you. I don't really say anything. I just, yeah, okay. And you'll see me try to move on to my exercise, and if you keep talking, I'll probably look at you mad crazy and shit like that. Just let me be. But I do understand, because I've been somewhat listening to an audio version of the 48 Laws of Power, and it says do not isolate yourself. So because of that, I try to keep myself somewhat sociable to people I don't know. So I go to the gym, right? There's this girl at the gym, right? I'm not fully attracted to her. She got a great body, but I don't too much like her face. That's just me. I'm very picky. That's something else you should know about me. If you know me, or if you ever come across me, dudes, I'm talking to fellas, and you out here smashing these hoes, don't show me your bitches. Here's what I'm saying, don't show me your bitches. 9 times out of 10, I don't think your bitch is cute, and I'm just gonna lie to you, like, yeah, she alright, but the bitch not cute to me. I'm tired of seeing ugly bitches. I'm sorry, that's just me. If you one of those dudes that, you got hoes lined up and you smashing a lot of hoes, listen, I'm more into quality than quantity. And I find that a lot of you dudes that are fucking like 10 to 5 bitches at once, they're all 4s. Keep it 100. I'd rather smash 1 dime than 10 fours. I'm not doing that shit. That shit to me, this is my fear about smashing women that I'm not attracted to or I don't find too attractive. If I accidentally get her pregnant and I'm chilling with the homies, or I'm walking around with moms and they ask who's my baby moms and I gotta put that ugly bitch, I'm gonna be very mad. I'm not doing that. So back to my story. At the gym, nice body girl, not too cute in the face. She always ends up working out in my vicinity, somewhere within like a 5-foot range for me. So I said, fuck it. You know, we often make awkward eye contact and I don't want this bitch to think I'm crazy. So I introduced myself to this girl. She comes across very, very talkative. It's cool. You know, I did this to myself. I understand. This is me trying to be sociable. So I let her rant, talk. I say enough just to keep her talking, then I keep my shit moving. So after that initial date of introducing myself, if I walk into the gym, well, scratch that, because 9 times out of 10, I'm in the gym before she is. If I see her in the gym, I'll see her, give it a head nod, so it's cool. Blah, blah, blah. We get to moving, you know. Every so often, she'll stop and say a few things. Well, she's very talkative. So she'll say a lot. I'll listen, give a little input, then we keep moving. One day I'm working out. I see her come in. And I guess, you know how some people, they get around a certain crowd and all of a sudden they act like a different person. Like, I guess this is supposed to be the cool crowd, and if I'm not in that cool crowd, I'm the person to talk about. I'm working out, I look in her direction, and I swear to you, I hear this. Maybe I'm tripping, but I swear I heard this. But I'm looking in her direction, and I'm reading her lips, and she sort of side-eyes me and says to this one dude and this one girl, "Oh, my stalker is here." And I thought to myself, me? I ain't no motherfucking stalker. I don't like you like that, bitch. I hope you don't got this shit twisted. So for a while, this shit was bothering me, which it really shouldn't, but the shit was bothering me because I ain't no motherfucking stalker. I don't too much find you attractive like that, bitch. Oh, I ain't with that shit. But then I started noticing, depending on who's there, she'll say hi, and if certain people are there, she won't say anything. I eventually got over this, but I just thought to myself, y'all females really need to let that shit go. Not everybody wants y'all. Some people are just trying to be nice. Some people are just trying to be sociable. But for y'all to turn around and act like everybody wants you, that's just, how conceited are you, bitch? Well, that's all I got to say for today. It's your boy Kicks Mean, Radio Don't Want Me podcast. I was told I don't say that enough off one episode. Can I build? Please don't judge me. Radio Don't Want Me podcast. Let me say it one more time. Radio Don't Want Me podcast. Your boy Kicks Mean. Kicks Mean, that's KICKSMEANN. 2 N's on that bitch. You can find me on all social media platforms. Well, not all, just Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Same shit on YouTube. I think I'm still using that on YouTube. If you're not following me on YouTube or subscribe to my page on YouTube, please subscribe. It's Radio Don't Want Me, I think. I need to double check that. Radio Don't Want Me podcast, or not the podcast, just Radio Don't Want Me. Yeah, again, hope everybody's having a great week. I'm your boy Kicks Mean. Holla!